Okay, guys, it's 23rd of June, Wednesday evening. Um, After yesterday's massive sell-off, and today we found a bounce nicely. All right, so let me just have a quick look at my mess here. I mean, this is the sideways movement. This thing's been doing since May, sideways, sideways, sideways. So we have no direction at the moment. Um, I'm still maintaining my original, which is this down, doing a sideways. We need to do one more low. I have not changed my bias on it yet. Again, this is just my view, my trading strategy, my technical analysis. Please don't try and follow it or I'm not telling you what to do. All right, so I have figured out how to look at this inside structure from an Elliott wave perspective. Those who are following Elliott wave or who read the book or read my notes that I've emailed you, you would know WXYs are three waves, ABCs are 5, 3, 5 waves, all in corrections. Normally, just to recap, you get up waves and you get a three-wave correction, and then you get a continuation of that trend. Now, this correction here could be anything. So it could be like a flat correction in a box and it keeps going up again. So this is what we got now. We got this flat correction, which is could be a zigzag, could be a flat, could be another zigzag. Eventually it's finished and then it goes. All right, so there are so many scenarios of this big correction that I'm looking at. So after carefully studying it, I noticed one thing. From the low, when we stopped this downtrend, or first low, we had a three-wave structure up. That's why I got W. W or XY is always three waves. Then we tried to figure out what this thing was doing in here, and we ended up analyzing a triangle, if you all remember that. But then it broke to the upside. It did not retest and carry on up. A lot of people were thinking it's going to do. So it validated my triangle, and I've now a flat correction. Now, inside this flat correction, I've got the first A down there, and then, yeah, let me just start again here. Okay, we all agree that the wave B is always going to be a three-wave correction. So if I look inside here, the dark gray line, I've got an A, a B, a C. We all see that as a three-wave flat correction. And it starts off with A, one wave coming into it, and it should have a wave coming out of it. So there we go. We've got an in, got a B wave, and now we've got a C wave. Having said that, there it is, A, B, C. So this whole A, B, C is actual three waves makes up the bigger flat it's in B. Okay, so you're still following me. We've got a mini ABC inside, which is the B of the bigger A, B, and now we've done the C. So there's your A. Inside that, you've got three waves. Inside that, you've got another three waves. So you've got 1, 2, 3. And inside there, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you start from the inside three wave, work your way up to the third bigger three waves, you will work out that from there, we got our three waves down for B, and we finish our C. So this whole thing actually makes one big three-wave structure, which is contained inside this bigger A. Now those three waves become the B, and now got to be there. And now the orange C has completed yesterday when it was crashing, and we thought the world was ending. So now I've got my orange A, B, C, the bigger picture completed. Now that is within another blue line, which is this A, B, C, which is building right now. Okay, I'm not calling mine A, B, C, I'm calling mine W, X, Y. So if you're reading the rules, anything that's got three waves and inside three waves, it's always going to be a W, X, Y. But for purposes for this scenario, we can call this A, B, C if you like. So it could be your A, B, C up to here. All right. Don't worry what I'm labeling it, just as long as you understand that inside a three wave, there's a bigger three wave, and that makes the B wave. And now inside that, we've got the W, which is now the blue X, and now we're working our way up to the Y. All right, so that is what I have seen in this pattern. I know it's a mess, looks terrible, but as long as you understand that We got a wave up, we got a massive correction down, we should have another wave up like this, and that is your massive flat correction completed. And if you're coming in from the top, going down, we need to do one more low to finish that pattern. All right, so that's the big picture, the long-term picture. Now, if I zoom in a bit here, let me just see what we're doing in the last day or so. So remember yesterday, this thing was coming down quite hard, and on the daily candle, this thing gave us a very nice pin bar. This is actually the 4-hour pin bar. Even on the daily, it gave us a massive pin bar. So it came down crashing hard. So everything's the world's ending, and it turns around. The last few hours goes up and closes green in a very bullish pin bar. Okay, guys, you can call this a pin bar. You can call this a hammer. Those are the two main terms used, or technical terms. I've never heard of a pencil, whatever some of guys I've seen here. But whatever you call it, it's your naming. That's fine. Just from what we call it, pin bars or hammers. Now, that's your daily pin bar and your 4-hour pin bar. And when I saw this yesterday, I did mention it in a group because that is always a nice reversal pattern. If you see a pin bar in the middle of the structure like this, it's no good. It's going to just keep filling it and keep going past it. So it's no good for you. It has to be at a certain level. So if it was at the top here, like this little pin bar there, see, that one worked out nicely. If it's at the bottom here at a support resistance area, then look at that. It resisted. So mass psychology, let me explain this. Mass psychology, everyone's selling off, because now this is just getting bad. And then it just comes all the way down there, and that's right. And the buyer is saying, no, very nice price. It's below my lows. I'm going to buy it. And it turns, the bulls come in, and they turn and walk it around. And that's when you have a closing candle like that. Now, that's mass psychology, where the guy's saying, you know what, we are actually wanting to buy this. And that is why when we see a candle like this, a pin bar, we like to trade them. Normally we enter halfway down 50%, so we normally wait for a retrace 50% and then we go for it. And we have our stops below that. So that's just old school, pure, what do you call, price action. Okay, price action, if you do a price action course, it's called price action, and you're using your pin bar as a stop at the bottom, a few pips away. Okay, but enough of that. Let's get it back to Elliott wave. Now, if this is my final X, and now today we've got this move up. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned this little ABC, this little pink one or red one, ABC, and I wanted to see what happens at the 35, 36,000 level. Now this is important level because I need to see if it's going to break that. If it doesn't break through that and it stops here, I was talking about this being the down, the 3 wave up and then down. But after I've analyzed this whole scenario, this whole spaghetti junction on the left here, I realized this is actually WX and a Y. So we kind of have to do this one here, the green one, which is the bigger A, B, C up to there, which will complete my wave Y. And from there, at the 43,000 level area, we should see reversal. Now, I would love to see it get up here, do a pin bar the way I did yesterday, and then close down below this area again. If we get a pin bar like this pin bar from yesterday, and the same thing happens up at this level, I would get out of all my buys. And this is me, guys, not you. I'm getting out of my buys, and I'm selling it from this level. And as soon as I see this, I might even leave it till it does that retrace. Okay. The option then is to sells below that. So if it carries on up, okay, you're not in it. But if it comes down and breaks through that, okay, so you're in your sell, if your sell is right there. So let me explain this again. So if you see a reversal and you see a retrace, to be on a safe side, if you put your sell entry below that area, what happens now? Let's say this thing actually turns out to be bull market. It'll just carry on up, right? This drawing tool of mine is ridiculous. Okay, so hang on. Sorry, this drawing tool is just crazy. So if you see a reversal and you see it pull back like this, have you sell order in there? If it carries on up as bull market, fine, you're not in a sell. But if it then breaks through and takes you in, you're in that sell. All right. So that's one strategy you can use. Anyway, so I'm waiting for this to happen. Get up there. I'm going to be selling aggressively. I like to sell from the tops, but it is quite aggressive. So don't try that strategy if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so at the moment, pin bar went up nicely. So we're going to go up. We've actually broken a little bit higher, which is quite nice. So we should see some sort of uh, retracement to the side here, and then carry on up for our ABC. All right, so that is what I'm looking at the moment. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at the moment. So if it goes and gives you the small ABC here, then it can go down, or the big ABC up there, and then it can go down. So ideally, we want to see 43,000, and then I'll be selling. And then we'll be looking at, let me just zoom out here. Then we'll be looking at my, if you remember my last video, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has been there for a few days already. So eventually then this means I can get this wave all the way down to here. Where will it stop? I don't know, guys. I mean, we can't say 25 or 20, 13,800. No one knows at this very moment, because if it was a triangle like we had originally, then I projected a nice target for you guys, and that's easy enough to do. With a big flat like this, such a long, massive correction, this is building up. If it builds up like this, I mean, it could be quite a strong move down. So that's all I want you to be aware of. So don't panic, but it's going to be quite a strong move. And then we'll have a nice move up where the buyers will be buying lower down. So personally, I'm thinking mid 20s, could be 20,000 even. It might even be in the teens, I'm not sure. But once we see the 1, 2, and the 3, and then we'll have to see how the wave 4 unfolds, we'll have a better idea of what the target will be at the bottom. So for now, let's see what happens, guys. The next few days, we'll watch this thing go up, sideways, and up until we reach up there, and then we'll decide what's going to happen. All right. So that's it for me. Good luck. Thank you.